Dear Hasbro, my name is Alicia Garcia, a single mother of a 10-year-old daughter named Jennifer Garcia, who is a huge fan of your show. Non-stop, all she ever does is talk about the My Little Pony show and how it's the greatest thing on earth. I have to admit, I watched a few episodes with her, and I got hooked on it as well. Or at least I used to. I don't see the show the same way nowadays. Ever since she started watching it, all she ever asked for is a Rainbow Dash doll. Her favorite pony, by the way. I tried to find one numerous times at the store, but so far I hadn't found one, or for that matter, any My Little Pony merchandise. I asked one of the clerks if they'll ever have some in stock, but she didn't know what I was talking about. Like, she had never heard of the show, or My Little Pony for that matter. I also tried looking online on eBay and Etsy, but I still couldn't find any toys from your show. A few weeks ago, Jennifer brought home a Twilight Sparkle vinyl figure that she said she found at the playground underneath a swing set. It was filthy and dirty, and one of its wings was cut off. Someone has colored its eyes with a pen or marker or Sharpie, and it had the strangest smile I've ever seen on a doll. It's silly, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up with you, but I can't, I think it has this hatred towards me. My feelings aside on the doll, Jennifer loves it and takes it everywhere with her. I can't imagine why she loves it so much. It's a broken toy. I tried numerous times to clean up the black ink, but I hadn't been able to remove it. She took it with her for a sleepover at her friend Amelia's house a few weeks ago. I'm not sure what happened, but my daughter is not allowed to go over there anymore. I didn't get much information from Amelia's parents, but for what I do know, it had something to do with Jennifer loaning that Twilight Sparkle doll to her friend, and something happened with her and the toy during the night. It's silly, I know, but the thing is, Jennifer has told me that she hasn't been to school since the sleepover. Something about how all she does is scream nowadays and has been placed into a hospital. I don't understand all that happened, and I'm a little frightened of it. I caught my daughter a few times talking to the doll, and it kind of creeps me out. Sometimes I think that probably the doll is listening to her and talking back to her. I know, it's stupid for me to tell you this, but I can't shake this feeling. But that's not really what I want to write to you about. The reason I'm writing this to you is because I don't like how the newer episodes are going. They're neither good or wholesome like the ones we first started watching. And to tell you the truth, they're more than a little sick. I don't know how you can call it a children's show. And if I ever figure out the schedule to it, I will make sure my daughter never watches it again. When we first started watching My Little Pony, it was on Saturday mornings. Now it seems to be on all the time, whenever I bring her home from school, and when she wakes up in the morning, and almost all the day I find it on. I'm not sure how they do it, but for almost half a year now, My Little Pony has been on at all hours of the day and night. It got so bad that I decided to start unhooking the cable from the TV, and now we just watch DVDs and shows on Netflix. What's really upsetting is how the new episodes are going. I don't know what's wrong with you, you reading this, or the company as a whole, or the company that makes these shows, but they're downright evil. Only a twisted person would make these shows and like it. I thought it was strange that it was on all the time, but I didn't mind it at first. That all changed with the season 3 episode 14, Flutter Pet, the one where Fluttershy's pet rabbit Angel gets sick and has to be put down. That was such a horrible episode. I didn't like how the other ponies laughed at Fluttershy and called her names for letting Angel get sick. They kept on until Fluttershy literally broke down and started crying while the other ponies gleefully ripped the poor bunny Angel apart. I was shocked when I watched it with my daughter. What was even more shocking was her reaction. She was just laughing and carrying on like it was just another episode. This is the type of show you want to put on air? The next episode was Season 3, Episode 15, Pinky Party Pinky. I remember the name of this one, and that it was even worse than the other one. How Pinkie Pie threw a party for all her friends, and they all hated it, telling her that she was a failure, and her parties were terrible, and no one likes her, and they all wish she was dead. The other ponies tormented Pinkie until she literally flipped out. She started biting herself, pulling out her hair while she was laughing and crying at the same time. Oh my goodness. It was just awful. It was so bad, I turned it off and I told my daughter she was never allowed to watch it ever again. But what was really disturbing was it didn't seem to bother my daughter at all. I talked to her about it later on, and she told me that the Twilight Sparkle doll said Pinkie Pie deserved it. That her parties were stupid and no one likes her, and they all wish she was dead. I was shocked, horrified, stunned. I took that damn doll away from her, and I wanted nothing to do with your show. I thought the matter was closed. I threw the doll away, and I thought it was the end of it. But it wasn't. Next day, after dinner, a new episode came on, as me and Jennifer watched a cartoon on Nickelodeon. But then I realized, I thought My Little Pony never aired on Nickelodeon. It's not like one of the shows. And the episode was just as horrible as the other ones. This episode was called First Flight Twilight. It was an episode where Twilight Sparkle was trying to learn how to fly with her wings when she couldn't get it right. After the third try, the other got so mad at her and ripped one of her wings off, just like the doll that my daughter has, now that I come to think of it, and threw her off a cliff. You can clearly see her hit the ground, and there was blood everywhere, as long as a sickening sound as Twilight Sparkle's neck started breaking. Every other episode, Twilight is missing a wing, and her head hangs in this weird angle. I don't get you people. Are your creators mentally sick? Like I said before, as much as I tried to stop my daughter from watching it, the show is still coming on all the time. And all the other episodes are just as mean. Applejerk, when they set Applejack's house on fire, as they called her names as her and her family are trapped inside and they burned to death. Colors of the Rainbow, how they trapped Rainbow Dash in a well and filled it up with water until she drowned, all the while laughing at her. How can you call yourself a kid-friendly company when you put shit like this on? There are more episodes like this, but I really don't want to get into it. I've forbidden my daughter, who didn't seem to mind it at all, from watching your My Little Pony show anymore. She somehow got that damn doll back. Don't ask me how. She told me that the doll said that I shouldn't have done that, and that I made Twilight angry. What that means is beyond me, but she is my problem, and I will handle her on my own. She is my child after all. As you know, this is my second letter to you about your show. I attached your first response to my first letter. Dear Mrs. Garcia, we thank you for your time to write to us about this, but Hasbro has never, nor at this point in time, have any plans for a creation of a My Little Pony show, and from what you have described in some of these episodes, I'm not sure if this is some sort of joke from you or another person. Hasbro is committed to children entertainment and merchandise, and we will never create horrific shows that would torment our viewers. If you can give us any more information about this, we will look into this. Sincerely, Hasbro Legal. This is your show. It has to be. I see your logo on every single episode. Pictures taken on my screen with the show and your name on it have been attached to my letter to you. So don't give me this bullshit that you. Wait, I, 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 I can hear the show coming on.